Hey everybody, it is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Tuesday, May 12th, 2020. We again find ourselves in the final hour of the trading day. In my opinion, the most valid time to make the majority of your buying and selling is at the end of the day. In the last hour, particularly in the last few minutes during the daytime, the algorithms and the day traders, they are the ones controlling the price. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in and they take control of the pricing away from the day traders and the algorithms. They are dealing with the most money. They have extremely smart people. They have the best technology, the best information. And I like to make my buying and selling decisions primarily based upon what they're doing at the end of the day. So that's why I'm primarily an end of day trader. I did have one intraday trade today that I will share with you later today. So thank you so much for coming. Always nice to have you here. I always look forward to seeing everyone. I think we have such a great group, and I hope that the time you're spending here is helping you, the time you're investing here is paying off for you as far as learning some good trading principles. So thank you, as always, every day for coming, and appreciate you being here. Hey, looks like Dan is here. Happy Tuesday. Hey, Dan, good to see you. Quad Racer is here. Hey, my friend. Good to see you. Looking forward to our lesson tomorrow evening. Scatty13 is here. Greetings to all. Greetings to you, Scatty. Nathan, hey, how you doing, Nathan? Good to see you, my friend. Appreciate you coming back. Miko is here. Hello, Greg and all. Hello, Miko25. Nice to have you. Bob is here. Hi, Bob. Always good to see Bob. All right. Well, anyway, interesting day today. Dow is down 104 points at the moment, down 0.43. NASDAQ is also down, which we haven't seen in a bit, down 20.27, down 0.22%, and the S&P is down 16.6, down 0.57. So S&P down the most, NASDAQ down the least. But red, haven't seen red across the board for a while. So, all right. Hey, Marcella is here. Nice to see you. Happy Tuesday to you too. Thank you so much for that. Glenn is here. Hi, Glenn. Good to see you, my friend. All right. Well, interesting day for sure. So this is the plan for today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at all my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. After that, some of you have been kind enough to share your trades with me. We're going to take a look at those, go through those. After that, we're going to spend a few minutes on trader psychology, good trading words of wisdoms, good trading philosophies. There are a lot of good Facebook, Twitter channels out there. They post good stuff every day. So I look through them each day, try to find something that I think would be helpful for the group to hear and for me to hear, right? I need to hear this stuff as well. I am not impervious to making mistakes. I make them quite often. After that, we are going to go down through my watch list. I have 3 requirements when I look to enter any trade. First requirement is I look for a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up. I look at indicators such as MACD and RSI, moving averages, ATR channels. I look at these as potential groups of buyers. And you will put yourself in the position to have the best chance of having a profitable trade if you are in the company with as many other buyers as possible. So that's when I see a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up, I look at that as a combination or confluence of buyers lining up, which puts me in the best position. So that's what I look for. Requirement number 1. Requirement number 2, I have to make sure I have a good risk to reward based upon the valid and likely resistance above me compared to valid support below me. I like to be able to make at least 2 times to the upside compared to what I might lose to the downside. And then number 3, just make sure you do not have too many positions that are correlated, not too many tech positions, not too many positions in the same industry or the same sector. If they go all up together, then that's fantastic. But if they go down, they're probably all going to go down together as well. And we want to diversify our risk. And it's also a good idea to diversify risk outside of equities into bonds, gold, silver, oil, currencies, something like that as well. The more diversification in trading, in my opinion, the better. So I'm going to go down through the watch list, look for something, look for potential stock that lines up with those 3 requirements. And if I find one at the end of the day, I'll go ahead and place it right before the market closes. After that, after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. You can type them in the chat. If you'd like me to take a look at any stock symbols, please let me know. Happy to go through, give you my humble opinion. If there's any stock symbols that you'd like my opinion on before the market closes, please let me know. Make sure you put a star by it in the chat so that I know it's a priority and time sensitive, and I'll do my best to get to it before the close of the market. Then, if you have any trades that you've made and you'd like to get up on the board here, either putting something new on or taking something off, please let me know. But if you don't mind, wait until the close of the market. I've been running out of time lately, so I'm happy to do that, but I want to wait till after the market closes. So, all right, so that's the plan. Anyway, if you could be so kind, hold on tight for about 40 seconds, and I will be back after I run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Thanks a lot. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. Okay, all right. Frank is here. Hello, my friend. Always nice to have Frank here. Thank you. Marco is here. Hey, buddy, what's happening? Hope you're having a good evening. Glenn says, IWN leading market lower. Q's long, IWM short still working. Yes, I remember you've had that trade. So it's kind of a hedge trade. Long the Q, short the IWM. And if he's right, the weaker one will go down more than what the Q's go. If the Q's go down, they'll go down less than IWM is basically what I'm saying. Marcella, does somebody know what's going on with UGAZ? Nobody in that paper. I don't know what UGAZ is. UGAZ? Oh, 3 times leveraged natural gas. Oh boy. Well, I think the answer there, Marcella, is that oil wells are opening back up, which provides more natural gas because that's where natural gas comes out of those wells. And so there's more supply coming out when oil wells were shutting down. That was shutting down the supply of natural gas, which made it go up. Boy, that's nasty. That's down 19.5% today, but that's, that's 3 times leverage. Miko says, Greg, thoughts on Chewy, please? Wow. I like that. A lot of things going on here. We have a nice V2, day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 2 washes out, day 1 closes above day 1's close. It also had a false break out to the downside. See, here's the previous low over here. And so we're in this range. We poked our head down, came back up, poked our head down again today, back up. So it's a false breakout to the downside from this previous low. Has a nice bullish engulfing bar here as well, and took out the 5, the 10, and the 20, and also above 50 RSI. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's look at the week. Yeah, well, V1 on the weekly as well bounced off. Yeah, I like that, actually. I like that. Hope that helps, Miko. Glenn says, Marcella, UG has been in a downtrend for years. Great for shorting. David is here. Hey, David, good to see you. Hey, Mount Doji, what's going on, my friend? Always nice to have Mount Doji here. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Kamal, hey, buddy. How you doing? Good chatting with you earlier. Frank says, oh, we've got a poem from Frank. What have you got to lose? Is your trade set up for bad news? Was that buying trigger a dud that turned your trade to mud? Remember to use a stop because you don't have to suffer when you trade with a buffer. Man, so good. I say that every day, and I'm not just blowing smoke. I mean, Frank, it's just amazing, that you these are such important words. Plus, they rhyme, which is impressive to me. What have you got to lose? Is your trade set up for bad news? Was the buying trigger a dud that turns your trade to mud? Remember to use a stop because you don't have to suffer when you trade with a buffer. Nice. Zach is here. Good to see you, Zach. Hey, I did speak with Andrea last night and gave her your best. I'm pretty sure I did. I have a memory of it. I'm pretty sure I did. So, and her son's doing well, by the way. Her son's doing. Yeah, that Chewy, that's pretty good. I mean, your risk down here, halfway is a bit down here, but is it 2-1 up here? Could be. Definitely could be. Interesting. Okay, let's get to it. We got a lot of things to go over. Okay, Boeing. I did buy Boeing back here on the 7th of May. I bought it at 128.49. We had a V2, and similar to what I just talked about, Miko 25, it also had a false breakout from this previous low. So it came down here, it poked its head, didn't like it, went back up into the range. At the same time, we had this V2. Next day, it moved up nicely. I think I hit 2 profit targets if I remember correctly, which is good. As things move up, I don't want to give it all back. That's essentially what it comes to. So had a nice big move up there, took some profits off. Yesterday it was down. Today, fortunate enough to hit 1 profit target here on that first move up during the day. I got out some there at 32.80. And again, this is why I like to use profits, phasing out, have profit targets and phase out a portion. I don't like this at all. This is a bearish engulfing bar. It's a V1. Here's day 1. Day 2 goes higher than day 1, closes below, at least right now. And bearish engulfing, reject the 10 and the 5. Right now, this is right about an still a profitable trade for me, even though I'm below where my entry point is slightly, because I took profits up here. So I don't like this anymore. In worst case scenario, this is a break-even trade. I haven't done the math on it yet because I phase out, but pretty much this looks like a scratch trade. I don't like this bearish bar, bearish engulfing, V1 to the downside, rejection off of a lower high. So I'm basically going to just get out of this, call this a scratch trade, but I'm very fortunate and grateful that I did take some off here at the very, very top today. Alibaba. Well, so we had the 520 crossover yesterday. Everyone is in this too. Steve, Frank, Bob, Karen, Donnie. I'm not sure what that is. Oh yeah, I do. It went up initially today, and just like Boeing, I did take off some profits right here at the top. It's the 520 is still crossed over, but this is a red flag for me. I'm not going to get out of the entire position, but I am going to get out of a quarter of the position. I don't like what this has. And if, when I take a crossover, I'm going to stay in it as long as the price stays above the 5 and the 20 half. And then when the 5 and the 20 cross under, I'll get out of the other half. But along the way, if I see some price action that I do not like, I get the green flag to go ahead and take a little off, maybe a half, maybe a quarter, just because I didn't like the price action. But it's still under the 520, so I'll keep it. So grateful that I hit the 1 profit target there. That's really, really why I like to use profit targets, because I can lock in some gains up there, which if it does go down, mitigates it to the downside. Silver. All right. I did buy silver back here on the 7th of May. I bought it at 14.25. It went up nice the very next day. It went up nicely. I hit 2 profit targets. Again, why I like to phase out. Yesterday it was down, didn't hit any profit targets. Today I did hit a profit target like the other ones right here at the top. So I don't see any issue with this right here. There's really no red flags. A little bit of a V1, but it still made a higher high. Hasn't made a higher low. So I am just going to stick with this one, but glad to hit the profit target there. All right. Everybody's favorite thing to look forward to, I know it, is my explanation of the overnight SPY trade. Sorry, everybody. I know this gets old and you could memorize it in your sleep, but in case we have some new viewers, I quickly want to go over this. But I do buy the SPY, SPY, each day at the close. I hold it overnight, take that overnight risk, sell it first thing the next morning. I base this on a study from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest on Twitter. With this approach, they tested two different options every day since 1993. First was buying the SPY at the open, holding it through the day, selling it at the close. But if you use this approach every day since 1993, you'd have returned a negative 13.9%. However, if you did the opposite, which is what I do, buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take that overnight risk, sell it first thing the next morning, positive 634.2%. So big difference between the two. Past performance is no future guarantee of future results. That's true. May never work again in history, right? No one knows the future, but it does back test well. And if I'm going to allocate money towards something, I'm going to allocate it towards something that has a good back tested record. The blue line's the buy in the afternoon, sell the next morning. The orange line's the buy in the morning, sell in the afternoon. You can see there's a clear difference. This has a nice long-term upwards equity curve, just like stocks, right? They go up, but there's ups and downs in between. The orange line has not done so great. It's negative for all that. So there are dips, big drawdowns. I have gone through some this year, although the last month and a half has made a huge comeback, and I'm grateful that I stuck with it. So with that being said, I did buy the SPY yesterday at the close at 292.50. I sold it this morning right at the open at 293.75. So I made $1.25 overnight. More importantly, it was gone up here and not down here. Okay, Twitter. I did buy Twitter back here on the 7th of May. I bought it when we came into the value zone, sideways motion, had this V2, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 2 washes out, day 1, day 3 closes above day 1's close. I bought it at 28.73, hit a couple profit targets the very next day. Sideways movement yesterday, today, down 7 cents, so it's holding in there pretty well. This orange line here, once I move above that orange line, then I'll institute a trailing stop. So there is no trailing stop yet on this, but I don't see any issues here. Honestly, I don't see any issues here like I do on Alibaba. Boy, I have a lot of positions, don't I? IWM. All right. I bought IWM back here on the 1st of May. I bought it at 125.01 when the 10 crossed over the 50. Good back tested approach. Has moved up nicely. As it moved up, I took profits. Now, 2 days after the trade, wait. No. Sorry, this confused me here. Okay, all right. Finally, it went above 1 ATR here. So now, even though it's a crossover, today it looks like it might close below previous day's low, in which case the 1050 is still intact. But again, this is a red flag for me. So I already took a quarter off here. And Andrea, if you're listening, you know, I talked about this last night on our call. We went down, we got to 50%. I sold a quarter there. I'm going to sell another quarter here today because it closed under the previous day's low. I don't like that. So I'm sticking with the 1050 trade, but I don't like that we closed under this low here now that we've extended from my entry. So it's another red flag, just like it was back here. I'm going to take some off, but I'll keep some to let the 520 play out. All right, then Apple. Andrea, in case you're listening, well, let me show you the trade first. But Andrea and I discussed last night Fibonacci's and so forth, and so I have a perfect example to show her. Where was my entry? All right, here we are on Apple. I did buy Apple today on the 5-minute bar. We went under 30, over 30. We bounced off the 100, closed back up over the negative third ATR channel. Also had a V1, day 1, day 2. This washed it out. So a nice confluence of signals here. I bought it at 317.18. It moved up. The orange line here is if it gets above this orange line, it means it's moved more than 1 ATR, in which case I will start trailing with a close below. But it went up, didn't have a close below, didn't have a close below, didn't have a close below. But here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, about 35 minutes later, we had a close below the previous day's low. We also closed below the 50 RSI, and we closed below the 50-day moving average. So I locked in profits. I bought it at 317.18, and I sold it at 318.11. So just under $1. And from there, that was a really good place to sell it. And lock in profits there. But what I want to show you, Andrea, is we were talking yesterday about Fibonacci. Okay, see the big bar down here? Well, if we rally, we're probably going to get stuck at about the 50% Fibonacci move, right? And you can see we went up. It's exactly where it tested, and then all the way down from there. So I hope that helps, Andrea. We had the big bar down. We rallied to halfway. That was all. And if I was going to short that, I would have gone down to the 5-minute bar and looked for some type of entry to the short side. And actually that, oh shoot, now I lost my place. But the place that I got out of my long trade was exactly where you would have gotten into the short trade. Boy, Apple looks like it might go negative on the day. Whoa, that's crazy. Okay, so those are my trades. Those are my trades. A lot of them down today, but like I said, the taking the profits off at those profit targets when I hit them, very happy that I did that. Okay, let's take a look. See, now we have Gert. Let's see. This trade is so high, I thought I didn't put the entry. Gert bought this at 44 cents, everybody. She held through earnings, which is a little naughty, but it worked out for her. Look at this. This is almost doubled for her. I liked it. It's holding above the 200-day moving average. I know she took a third off. I don't know if she took any more off, but this is an all-time record for this live stream as far as a return. So congratulations, Gert. Very, very nice. I like that's holding over the 200. GME, Zach and Dan took this trade back on the 8th. We had a rejection of the 200-day. We had a V2. Good setup. Yesterday it lost the 200. I know that Kamal also had this trade. He got out yesterday because it lost the 200, and I think Zach and Dirk stayed in, and it's down pretty good today. So anyway, if there's any changes there, let me know. OMAB, Gert also bought this back here on the 5th at 30.65. It's moved up nicely. Did reject the 50-day moving average yesterday, which would have concerned me a little bit. And so slightly down on the trade, not too bad. Boy. So here's Virgin Galactic. Steve Burns, David, Karen, and Zach had this trade. They bought this at 18.66. It went skyrocketing up, right? Skyrocketing up. But now it's come all the way down under the entry price. So, you know, that's unfortunate. If there's any changes from Steve, Dave, Karen, or Zach, please let me know on that one. Abbott, being he did buy Abbott back here on the 7th at 93.80, moved up nicely immediately down today. Hasn't made a lower low or anything like that. So Bing He, if there's any changes, let me know. AGQ. All right, so we have two trades here on AGQ. Kamal bought AGQ at 21.39 when the 5 crossed over the 20 on the SLV, not the AGQ, but he used that as his entry. Moved up nicely, then came back down. I think Steve and Karen bought it the next day at a little higher price, 21.94, somewhere around there. So Kamal is still profitable on the trade, and I think Steve and Karen are slightly down on the trade, but it's still under the 520 crossover. IWC, Stephen Burns and Karen also bought this when the 10 crossed over the 50 EMA. They bought it at 78.50, moved up a little yesterday, but today down, but it is still under the 1050 EMA cross. CRM, Glenn had a really nice trade here, 166.75. Taken off beautifully, down a little bit today, but I don't see any chart damage based upon this. Andrea, if you're listening, yesterday we had the big up day. See how we're holding right at about halfway of yesterday's bar. So that looks good. Work. Also another nice trade by Glenn at 28.25. Moved up nicely. It's kind of been moving sideways, but it is up still again today. So if there's any change there, Glenn, let me know. Tilray, Nathan bought Tilray yesterday before earnings, which sometimes can work out like it worked out for Gert. In this case, it's down today 8%. So Nathan, if you have any changes there, let me know. And last but not least, we have GM. GM did buy puts on Amazon expiring June 19th, so a little over a month at 2,200. So it would have to get below 2,200 in order for her to be in the money at expiration, although she could be in the money even if it doesn't get there, depending on how quickly that happens. So looks like Dow Jones down 193 points. Wow. Okay. Andrew says, hello, everyone, and thank you so much for all your well wishes for my son who got corona. He is doing really well now and no more symptoms. That's fantastic. Frank says, happy to hear. Dan says, son's better. Yay. Karen, hey, Karen. Hello, everyone. Great news, Andrea. Super. 100%. Andrew says, yeah, I think he must have had a pretty good immune system. Good. Mount Doji says, this is great to hear, Andrea. Wishing you well. Hey, Steve Burns. Good to see you, my friend. Always nice to have you here. Always an honor. Always a privilege. Hope you and the dogs and Holly are all doing well. Steve says, I will be exiting BABA today due to the bearish engulfing candle reversal. I will be exiting SPICE due to the bearish reversal today as well. Yeah, I kind of figured. Yep, BABA does look pretty nasty. I am going to hold, like I said earlier, I am going to hold on to a portion of Alibaba because it still is under the 520, but I am going to take some off here today because of this bearish volatility bar. Frank says, I got stopped out of IWM. Not bad. Made $4 a share. Fantastic. Very, very nice, Frank. Frank's a really good trader. Andrew says, yes, Greg, I see that 50% fib resistance there. Good. Steve says, nice friend. Andrew says, what's that penny stock? I couldn't see the symbol. I don't know. I will buy SSO on the 1050 EMA crossover today. Yes, that is one I am looking at as well, Steve, for sure. Okay, how are we doing on time? I'm doing pretty good. All right, so listen, before I get to the watch list, before I go down, look for potential end of day trade. Remember, 3 requirements: confluence or combination of signals, 2 to 1, at least 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio, and keeping in mind correlation, trying to diversify your holdings, right? The different types of stocks you have. Before I do that, I like to spend a few minutes. I like to talk about some good sayings that I find on Twitter and on Facebook. There's some great channels out there. They spend a lot of time posting, and these are just nuggets, good nuggets of information, and read them, read them and internalize them. But this is from Adam Mancini. I love Adam Mancini's channel. He's on Twitter at Adam Mancini4. You always hear me talk about return to values, looking for that sideways motion or that sideways movement. You always hear me talking about consolidation, building a base, and how sidewards motion can lead to big moves. You also hear me talk about big bars leading to small bars leading back to big bars. And actually, I went over this with Andrea last night on our call because it was relevant to what we were talking about. But this is what Adam says. When I'm scanning for setups, I almost always gloss over markets that are moving strongly up or down. What interests me is markets that are paused and consolidating or coiling, flags, triangles, wedges. Low volatility precedes high volatility, and the strongest moves come from chop. And it's exactly what I'm talking about. He calls it consolidating or coiling. I call it moving sideways. Same difference, right? But things that are indecisive. And things that move sideways can move strongly. I always talk about it moving strongly either to the upside or the downside. The problem is I don't know which direction or when it's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen. So Adam and I are definitely simpatico on that. And then that is why when I talk about looking for return to values, I look for that sideways movement, because that sideways movement is like a foundation. You know, if you're going to build a skyscraper, you have to have a pretty big foundation to build that tall. And it's the same with stocks. So I'm the same way. I don't really look for stuff that's moving strongly up or down. I look for things that are consolidating and waiting to break out one way or the other. So real quick, one more time. When I'm scanning for setups, I almost always gloss over markets that are moving strongly up or down. What interests me is markets that are paused and consolidating or coiling, flags, triangles, wedges. Low volatility precedes high volatility, and the strongest moves come from chops. And that is totally true. And I will try to point those out as we're going through the charts today. Okay. So a lot to do here at the end of the day, for sure. Okay, let's start with Apple. Apple is still positive, even on a day like this. Apple has been a monster of a monster. Does look like it's rejecting the 70 RSI today. It was above 70. Looks like it might close, who knows, might close below 70. You know, a lot of people are going to notice this. A lot of people that are longs will probably exit. You know, if Steve Burns was long this trade, he would be getting out. If he had a close under 70, I would be getting out as well. Does it mean I want to short it here? No, I don't. But what I want to do is I want to see, you're going to have two groups of sellers. You're going to have people coming in shorting, and you're going to have people taking their profits, which can be two groups of sellers. I want to just, you know me, I want to wait for it to move back into the value zone. Adobe down a bit today, same thing. Just want to see a move back into the value zone. Sideways motion, like I was just talking about. Look, here's sideways motion here. Sideways, sideways, sideways leads to moves up. Moves up lead to sideways, sideways, sideways. It always happens. Amazon down 1% today. So GM must be doing pretty well on her puts. Congratulations, GM. Boeing, like I said, I am going to exit Boeing today here. It's going to be very close to a break-even trade because of the profits I took, but I don't like this bearish engulfing bar V1 to the downside. Rejection of the 10-day moving average. Don't like it at all. So I am going to exit this at the end of the day. Alibaba, that's a pretty nasty reversal bar. Like I said, I took it with the 520 crossover. Hit one profit target right near the top today, which it's not a ton, but I will definitely take it. And it is still under the 520 crossover, so I will probably sell a half of what I have left here because it's still under the 5 and the 20. You know, sometimes just trading a crossover mechanically will really pay you off big. Other times getting in there, getting out of something because you don't like the price action, it might get you out and then it might go screaming back up. So I kind of like to split the difference. I like when I see price action that I don't like, I want to take some off, but leave some, right? My students know I'm a big fan of 50-50. Berkshire Hathaway, I am really waiting to buy Berkshire Hathaway. It's a 39.25 RSI. I'm looking for a deep dip buy under 30, over 30. This is run by very, very smart people. Here, look at this sideways motion here. Right, I feel very comfortable buying Berkshire Hathaway, but only if I get a signal. I don't have a signal yet. We're just moving sideways, consolidating. Beyond Meat, I think, was up. Yeah, up 5.58%. Again, sideways motion leads to big motion. Big motion leads to large motion. So anyway, nothing here. If we could come back down to the 200-day moving average and the confluence there with the 1 ATR channel, maybe down here might be interesting. Caterpillar, well, it looks like it's breaking to the downside. It's a 42 RSI. I would look for see the sideways motion? I'm expecting this to move strong one way or the other. Carnival, down 4.5% today, sitting right here in the value zone. If I could get a legitimate V1 or a V2, I would go ahead and buy it. Look here, perfect example. Sideways motion. There's your trigger. There's a V V2. I didn't take this because it wasn't quite valid enough, darn it. But this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for sideways motion with the V1 or a V2. And then look at that. Sideways leads to big up moves. Big up moves lead back to sideways motion. Dow Jones coming back in the value zone, which is good, but I don't see anything there. Walt Disney down. Ooh, that's a pretty nasty bar to the downside as well. But coming back into the value zone, so I'm just looking for the sideways motion. Etsy, oh wow, I haven't seen Etsy red for a long time. Nothing there, looking for a pullback. Facebook also down here. You know, we've had these really tight, squeezed compression bars. These compression tight bars, again, are going to lead to a move. Is it upside or downside? I don't know. I wish I knew. If anybody knew, please tell me. Gold also moving sideways. I'm just looking for a valid signal. Could have had a V2 today. Here's day one. Day two washes out day one today. Earlier it had triggered a V2, in which case I would have taken, but now it has lost it. I'll mark that and see what happens at the end of the day. Google also down today, having problems at the third ATR channel. Goldman Sachs, big down bar today. Nothing there. Home Depot down slightly. Still above the third ATR channel, which is very strong. I'd look for a dip. I mean, I'm sure we'll have a dip. Trees don't grow to the sky, right? Just be patient and wait for the dip on the stocks that you really want to buy. IBB, V1 to the downside. Nothing there. Intel also down. Back tested that one ATR channel. Just looking for some sideways motion. IWM. Still have IWM. Have to see what's going on with that at the end of the day. Johnson & Johnson, look at this, everyone. This is what I'm talking about. Sideways motion, sideways motion, sideways motion. This baby's going to break. I just don't know what direction. But mark my words, let's look at this in a week or so, and this thing will have moved one way or the other. Just don't know which way. But I am really looking for a valid V1, V2 here. I'd love to buy this. CarMax, down, nothing there. Coca-Cola, down, nothing there. Lockheed Martin, can't get above that 200. Tried today, but failed. MasterCard, look at this. That 200 was just too much above it, and now it's down. But I'd be looking for a pullback into value. Mickey D's, sideways motion in the value zone. I like that, just need a signal. Merck, don't see anything there. Microsoft is down now for first time in a long time. Netflix down a bit today as well. Nike, look at this. Just touched that downward sloping 100 and boom, right now back below the 100-day. Philip Morris also down today, nothing there. PayPal, that's a lot of sideways motion. That's not going to go on forever. That's not going to go on forever. Q's also down. Looking for a pullback, looking for a 520 cross under, maybe a bounce at the 200-day. You know, a lot of times people say, that's so far down there, it'll never get down there. It can get down there, everybody. I promise you it can, and it might. Silver I have with the 520 crossover, still a profitable trade, hit the one profit target. S&P, of course, was fortunate enough to get out there at the open before this big puke happened. I'll be buying that again at the close. All right, here we go. Here's SSO. This is double leverage S&P. Right now, the 10 is at 109.21, and the 50 moving average is at 109.11. So currently, the 10 is above the 50. And just real quick, I want to show you this back test. I'm using this by permission, everybody, from ETF Replay. Here's the SSO 1050 exponential crossover. You run the test, and you can see the return is greater than buy and hold. The drawdown is much lower than buy and hold. Has a 47.5% win rate. It's about a 2-to-1 win to loss ratio. So this makes sense, right? It has outperformed buy and hold, and the drawdown is much less than buy and hold. So I will be buying this today as long as the 10 crosses over the 50. It's 109.15 right now. It's 109.09. So currently that is looking okay. So I will be buying that. Teladoc, nice sideways motion, moved up there. TLT, I don't see anything there. Tesla, up today, but I don't see anything there either. Twitter, still profitable on the trade. It hasn't moved more than one ATR. I'm just going to hold it. United Continental down almost 5% today. UNG getting hammered. UNH up a bit. Is in the value zone, just looking for an entry. Oil, look at this sideways motion. Again, consolidation, coiling. This baby is moving sideways. People don't want to buy it higher than here. They don't want to buy it lower than here. These are inside bars of inside bars of inside bars of inside bars. These are called ID4s. Larry Connors taught that. But the takeaway here is this is going to move strong one way or the other. VIX has got to be up, right? Oh, man. Yesterday, I can't remember who it was, said, hey, do you remember oops with Larry Williams? I certainly do. This is an oops. See how we gap down, reverse back up? That is what Larry Williams would call an oops, and this is what I would also call a V1. Verizon, nope. Walgreens, nope. Sideways motion, breaking down a little bit. Yeah, this all doesn't look good, actually. Walmart up a bit today. Energy down, financials down, real estate really down. XLU, sideways motion here. Healthcare, Andrea, big bar up yesterday. See how we're holding about halfway. So if I was just really wanted to get into XLV, now that we're halfway to this bar, I'd switch to a intraday chart and look for some kind of entry. And Zoom. Nothing there. So the only thing that I really see here today is SSO. Kind of scary to buy on a down day like this, but look, I'd rather get a better price on it, right, than it crossing up over here. 109.08 compared to 109.08. Now, if these two are even, that's legitimate as far as ETF replay goes. If they're even, it's still a valid cross. But if the 10 is under, I will not take it. And so the only other one up there was GLD. If it formed the V2, I don't know if it's going to or not, but I'll put a mark there just in case it does. Okay, yep. So GLD, possibly SSO. Let me take a quick look here on my current positions. I am going to get out of Boeing. Boy, Alibaba is really nasty. That is really nasty, actually. It's getting very close. I'll take half. SLV is fine. SPY, buying that again at the end of the day. Twitter hasn't moved enough for me to lock in or institute a trailing stop. IWM, boy, that is nasty. That is really, really nasty. That's a big bar. Yeah. Most likely I'll take half of that position off, a quarter or a half. I'll make a game time decision. Ooh, Apple is down $2 now. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Sorry, that was a lot to go over. Steve's buying SSO if it crosses. Frank exited BABA. Nathan, I jumped in afternoon. I got out at 790 right before it jumped to 805, but at least I got out. It is 745 now. Fantastic. Kamal said, I sold some chewy puts. Thanks, Miko. Oh, I like that idea. I like that idea. Kamal and I are kind of on the same page when it comes to selling puts. GM, hey, how's it going? Hey, your Amazon puts are doing well today. GM says, how are you, Greg? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Thank you, thank you. Hope you're doing well. Kamal said, did you buy Chewy? GM, we need second confirmation market. Isn't too negative. We need to hold. Yeah, you're right. The Bears do need a follow-through day. You're 100% right. Miko says, Kamal, I am waiting to the end of the day, see where it ends up. Well, that's good. Being he, hi, Greg. Chewy looks interesting. It does look interesting. I better put it up there, huh? Steve says, with this sell-off today, I am heading back into all cash. SSO signal is also failing here. All right. Christopher, oh, all cash, all cash. All right. Christopher, hey, good to see you, Chris. Steve, what's SSO? SSO is double leverage SPY. It's like buying SPY, but it's double leverage. Frank says, 100% with you, Steve. GM, Amazon. Yeah, I looked at Amazon. I know you have puts, $2,200 puts on this, right? Looks like we have a V2 to the downside. Here's day one. Day two washes out day one. Looks like we're going to close possibly below day one's close. That is a good signal if you want to go short. Bob says out of BABA. All right. Steve's out. Frank's out. Bob's out. Man, you guys are putting peer pressure on me to get out here. I'll probably get out too, honestly. Frank says the market is Reagan in reverse. You can verify that you can't trust it. GM says I missed. You missed what? Karen is all out of back into cash as well. Good. What about Donnie? Donnie's our sole survivor. Donnie's our sole survivor. All right. Let's take a look here. Yeah, this is a pretty nasty reversal. All right. There goes Baba. Twitter. You know, that bar is not too bad. I am going to hold Twitter. IWM. That is pretty nasty, isn't it? And SSO. Right now it is under. All right. I am going to hold Twitter. IWM really is weak. I'm probably going to sell that too. So all I'll have will be, and I'm selling BA as well. So I will have silver and Twitter, and that looks like about it. When you did Amazon, I wasn't in the room. Oh, okay. Yep. Well, there you are. There's your Amazon bought puts, $2,200 puts expiring June 19th through GM, and down today. So I would imagine you're in the money on that. So congrats, GM. Christopher says, I am shorting the Dow. Well, this is definitely selling off here. Definitely selling off. Amazon was up, or Apple was up like $5, $4 or $5, and now it is down. Chewy is hanging in there. Definitely hanging in there. I'd be concerned if it lost the 50 RSI, by the way. Yeah, this is just a cluster, isn't it? Woo! Dow's down 378 points. Wow. Let's check SSO again. It is now under, so it does not look like this is going to be a buy here today. Well, finally we ran into a price where the market didn't like it anymore. Gertz up 4%. She's doing well. GM, Zach or Dirk, if there's any changes, let me know. Spice, wow. Virgin Galactic is down almost 9% here today. Abbott, being he's about even. AGQ is down a little bit. Kamal still up a little bit. Oh, Steve and Karen, are you also out of silver? In case you're still listening. CRM reversed. Work reversed. Tilray. And GM is the happiest of the group. It's down. That's how it goes. GM says, SPX was on a head and shoulders top. It's retesting. If we break support level, it might be fun again, but I have a feeling they might kill options and take sideways for 2 months. Could be. We never quite know, do we? Steve is also in cash. Oh, okay. So he is out of AGQ. Let me check that gold again. No V1. Oh, this is getting ugly. You know the old saying, right? You go up with the elevator, down by the stairs. No, up by the stairs, down by the elevator. All right. Boeing's coming off for me. Alibaba, I just sold. Silver, I am holding on. SPY, I'm definitely buying that at a discount today. Twitter, I just can't see myself selling Twitter here. Yeah, it might be closing under the previous day's low, but it's got the crossover. It hasn't moved enough. It's still holding support of the 10-day, still up on this. So I am going to hold out on Twitter. IWM is pretty dang nasty, and it is a pretty volatility bar. I mean, look at the volume. We're already higher than yesterday without the end-of-day volume coming in. Apple is just getting cremated, man. People say the 70 RSI doesn't work. Well, it hit the 70 RSI almost on the nose. Boom, right back down. You know what? I think Miko really, this is a good find on Chewy. This is a good find on Chewy. So, with that said, I don't usually buy stocks like this, but that is a good signal. I like the V2. I like the bullish engulfing. I like the bounce off there. The only reason I'm not going to buy this here at the end is if this closes under 50 RSI. I like the weekly. I like we've moved up. We went down. We've bounced off the 5 and the 10. Weekly, we have a V1 on the weekly. All right, we have 5 minutes. So I'm going to watch this. If it closes under 50, I'm not going to buy it. Let's see what the bid-ask spread looks like on this kind of stuff. 2 cents, pretty good. Okay, so Karen's out. GM has love in her eyes as she watches Amazon go down. Frank says, sure you want to keep that date with Liz Ann? Oh, Frank, why are you putting that in my head? I have to do it, Frank. I have to do it. I can't pick and choose. I cannot pick and choose. Man, she better not stand me up. She better not stand me up. GM says, hey, Greg, how much do you charge on one-on-one lessons? Well, it's $1,000 GM. It's 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours each. So it's a 15-hour course. It's one-on-one, just you and I. You know, you should message me on Twitter or send me an email. We'll set up a Skype call and we can just talk about it. You know, I'll explain it more in detail and you can ask any questions and so forth. But I'd be happy to help you. Looking forward. I have a new client tonight, as a matter of fact. Always like when I have a new client first time and we start with the course. I really, really look forward to it. Okay. So I am watching Chewy. I've already positioned sides. I took my maximum loss that I want to take on any one trade. I divide it by the value of the 2 ATR. That tells me exactly how many shares to buy. But I like this sideways motion. Stab down, reversal back up. This is what I talk about all the time, right? Being above the value zone, coming into the value zone, sideways motion, poked our head down. But I'm just going to have to wait and see. I'll do my best to see if this closes above 50. I don't like that it rejected the 200, but it's still a nice valid V2. So email is in the description of this video, GM. It's gregory@gossettrading.com, but the link's in the description of the video. Or you can send me a message on Twitter if you're on Twitter. Woo, is this nasty? 435 down on the Dow. Let's take a peek real quick at Chewy intraday. It's pretty resilient. I mean, obviously the relative strength on this is incredible right now. I'm glad I sold BABA when I did. Last minute. GM's kicking butt on her Amazon. Glad somebody's making a little money today. Silver's hanging in there. All right. I bought Chewy there, and I have to buy Chewy here. All right. Everything else is gone except for Twitter. Ooh, here comes the selling. Down, 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 down. Okay. Well, that was interesting. All right, so I bought SPY at 286.67, and I bought Chewy. Katie will be glad to hear that I bought Chewy. That's my German Shepherd. Guess I better go on there and buy her some treats. Help the stock out. All right, let's clean up this disaster. Boeing, out of. About a scratch trade for me with the profit target. So I am out of Boeing. Alibaba is gone. Glad I hit that one profit target. That's a small moral victory. Donnie better be out of that trade as well. Otherwise he's going to hear it from me. Silver keeping. SPY. I got filled at my new date with Lizanne Saunders at 286.67. Frank, man, that was such a good poem. That was really good. So there's my new entry on Mr. SPY. Twitter I kept. IWM is goners, but still a profitable trade. That's the key. Apple. Had that nice little intraday trade on Apple. I wish I would have gone short. So Apple is gone. And Chewy, I got filled at 40.55. So down already. 40.55. Well, that was a good analysis, Miko, on that on this setup. Really, really. My stop on this is going to be here, halfway of yesterday's washout bar. Maximum loss is going to be 583 below. That's going to be my emergency stop. Right about here. And so that is how you set up, that's how you set up your trade. Of course, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know what I'm going to do regardless of what happens. If it goes up, I'm going to scale out. If it closes below halfway of this washout bar intraday, I'm going to get out. If intraday it goes all the way down here, well, I'm just going to have to get out because that's my emergency stop. But you know, you just always have to have a plan no matter what happens. And that's all you can do. You don't have control of anything, right? GME, I have Zach and Dirk. If there's any change there, let me know. Gert, I don't think Gert's here today. Steve, David, Karen, and Zach, I believe, are out of Virgin Galactic. Abbott, being he, is right about completely break even, which is a good thing. Karen is out. I don't know, Kamal, if you're still in silver, let me know. IWC, Stephen and Karen are out of that. Wow. We're cleaning up the board here. Glenn, any changes? I don't think you have any changes, but maybe you do. If you do, let me know. And then GM, I know, is still riding this one down. All right. So listen, if you have any other questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. Happy to go over any other charts. Before I do, I'm just going to quickly put in my daily little plug. Hope that's okay with you. But I do want to let everybody know that I do teach private one-on-one lessons via Skype in the evening time. I love to teach. I've had really good success with my clients. I've been trading for 24 years. I've studied with some really great traders and mentors over the years, like our good friend Stephen Burns, which was just wonderful. The year and a half or so that I spent with Stephen, learning from him one-on-one. Dr. Alexander Elder, I've worked with him one-on-one. Kerry Lavorne, Larry Williams. And so the course that I teach incorporates everything that I've learned over the 24 years, plus everything that I've learned from each one of these four gentlemen that I just discussed. It's a great course. It's very interactive. Basically, the format is I'll teach, well, I guess I should say there's 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. About the first hour and a half, I teach the lesson for that day. The second hour and a half, we just do a lot of chart study. I ask you a lot of questions. Everything that I do here that I break down when I go through my watch list is what I'm going to have you do back to me after I've taught you the lesson. And we do a lot of simulation. I just feel like the best way to learn is one-on-one. That's why whenever I want to learn something, I go to someone and say, look, I want you to teach me one-on-one. Not in a class, because I want their full attention. I have lots of questions. I want them to answer them as soon as I have them. with me, you can do that. All right. if you're interested, my email's in the description. You can send me a message on Twitter. But what I like to do is I like to have a Skype call. It's free. I promise you there's no pressure whatsoever. I just want to get to know you a little bit better. I want to ask you some questions about your trading challenges and your history and your goals. And then it's a good time for you to ask me questions, better than typing back and forth. It's better face to face. And then, if you feel like you want to do it, great. If you feel like you don't, that's fine too. But at least this way we can get together and see if we're a good fit. So if you're interested, please reach out to me. We'll set it up. And then also, if you like today's podcast or live stream, whatever we're calling it these days, I would appreciate if you could hit the thumbs up button before you leave. Really does help build the channel. And I know there's a lot of people out there that need help with trading. And if the more they share the channel and promote the channel, the more people we can have in here. And it's a fun group, right? So if you could hit it, I really would appreciate it. Oh, GM says, I don't have Twitter and I don't have Facebook. Very smart. Very smart, GM. Yep, then just send me an email. It's Gregory@gossettrading.com, and it's in the description of this video. Bing He says, bought Chewy. All right. We are on the Chewy train now. So, Bing He has Chewy. I believe, yes, Miko got Chewy. Okay. Zach sold Spice. I figured you did. All right. So Bing He, Miko, myself. Frank says, you might just like Chewy because you were in the gum business. Ha ha. That's right. I was in the gum business. Frank, I know that you wrote for a music magazine, right? And I can't remember which one, if it was Billboard, but when I first came out with Buzz Gum, that was the first chewing gum I came out with. I remember I did an interview and it was in Billboard magazine. Is it Billboard magazine that you worked for? I can't remember. Or was it Rolling Stone? But man, I thought that was the coolest thing to be featured in Billboard magazine. I was only like 24 when it happened, but maybe that's why I like the trade. We'll see how much I like it tomorrow. Quad Racer says, did not look like SSO is going to have the crossover. Yep. I didn't think it was going to. That's why I kind of lost track of it there at the end. Nope, it didn't. 108.66, 109.03. So it faded. It faded to the downside. Well, we'll see how smart my overnight SPY trade is, Frank. Kamal says, I have Twitter, AGQ, and sold Chewy puts at $40 for 85 cents. All right. 85 is not too bad. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to put the 40 in here. Well, let's see. What should I do? Let's do it this way instead. Come on. Sold. $40 puts at 85 cents. I have a silver computer and I have this skylight over it. I can never see what buttons I'm pushing. It's probably not a good thing to do. Do those expire on Friday? Kamal? Bob's out of Twitter. Okay. Kamal's still in Twitter. Oh, Karen's out of everything. Okay, Glenn is still in CRM and work. Okay, good. Yep, because you had that trailing stop. Hasn't hit. GM says, I had 3 contracts on Amazon. Sold 2 contracts of Amazon position at 30.5. I'm left with 1 contract, 36.50 tomorrow. I had 3 contracts on Amazon, sold 2 contracts on Amazon position at 350. I'm left with 1 contract. Okay. All right. Billboard was one of them. left me with a great Rolodex. Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, cool. So it was Billboard. Yep. Uh, GM. Thank you, Greg. Have a wonderful night, all. You too, GM. Thank you for coming by. Kamal says Friday expiration on Chewy puts. Okay. Wow. Out of all the stocks, Chewy is the one. What do you think of that, Katie? You like Chewy? Yep. She is stoked. Man, I tell you what, this dog bosses me around. She has got me so trained. I mean, literally, if she had her friends come over, if she had dog friends come over, she would try to impress them by saying, watch this. I'm going to make him do this. I'm going to make him do that. She has me so trained. I'm telling you what. But I love it because I love her. All right. Well, down 457 points. Ouch. Let's see how things are doing after hours. Chewy's up. Good, good. Silver's even. SPY is down. Ay. And Twitter is even. All right. Well, look, we were getting pretty extended out there, right? I think everyone realizes that. We were getting pretty extended. It's amazing how we got right up to the 70 RSI on a lot of those big stocks, and that was about it. Christopher Hitchens says, "What is Chewy?" Chewy is a pet website where you can buy pet products like Chewy's, probably dog food, leashes, everything else. I think it's chewy.com. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to show it. CHEWY.com. Yeah. Pet food, products, suppliers. I wonder what their edge is over Amazon, even if they do have, but I should probably go to this site, honestly. I spend more money on food and treats for my dog than I think I do for myself. Frank says, I love dogs, so I will check it out in the morning. Cool. Cool, cool. Okay. Karen says, Chewy is big for food delivery. Oh, gotcha. And Karen would know. Karen raises dachshunds up in Canada, right, Karen? And by the way, Karen, hope everything's working out for you and your schedule. But just as soon as you're ready, I'm ready here to finish up our lessons, okay? Just want you to know I didn't disappear. All right. So just a real quick recap here. Gert has almost doubled her money on this trade. Not quite, but almost. But again, this is a really good example, everybody, of sideways motion, like I talked about earlier in the trading words of wisdom section. Sideways motion leading to big up bars. Adam Massini, the one that I did a few minutes on his quote, he is not interested in this kind of move. He's interested in getting in here when it's coiled and getting out and selling into this type of move, right? I mean, there's different trading approaches, but this is more of a momentum approach, but he likes consolidations and breakouts, and so do I. Quad says, Greg, will we get to have a surprise appearance of your dog during our lesson tomorrow? I laugh. I will try. She's laying over there, but she does not suffer fools lightly. And if any of my students know when I try to have her come into the camera to say hello to, she she doesn't play along. She's a super sweet dog. I mean, she is so sweet. She's like a cat. I could give it a shot, but I just feel like, I'll tell you what, if she's near where I'm sitting and she kind of looks like I could bring her over for a minute, I will. But this is her nap time. She just hears me droning on about trading, blah, blah, V1, mount, moving average, this and that. She just gets bored with it and lies down on the cool tile. But I will try. I will try one day. But I think you can see her right now, right? To the bottom left of my screen, that's her. It only took about 2 hours to get her into that position to take the photo. I'll try though, Quad. Dan says, Greg, do you mind checking 10-200 SMA crossover? I found this in Steve May's book. Yeah, you bet. All right, here's ETF. I'm using it with permission. Okay. What are we checking on there? Are we checking on the S&P, Dan? So we're checking the 10-200. Okay. 10-200 simple day, and I assume it's on the SPY, right? Well, look at that. 50-50 win rate. Man, I'll tell you what. Did I get that right? Yes. 10-200 SMA simple. Okay. Almost identical in the return, but look at the drawdown. See, this is the beauty of crossovers. I know everyone wants to focus on returns, but drawdown is so much more important, so much more important. How many people do you think got scared and sold out down there, right? Because of this huge drawdown. Look, it has a 50-50 win rate, Dan. But look, the average loss is gain is 15.44. The average loss is 3.47. That's a 5-to-1 proposition on a 50-50 win. That's like you and I flipping a coin, and if I win, I pay you $1. If you win, you pay me $5. You would take that trade any time possible, right, Dan? Yeah, boy, do we have that going on right now? $10-200. Well, okay, we don't have it going on. Here's the 200, here's 10. I'll tell you what, this 200-day resistance up here is probably going to be pretty hard to get over. I mean, who knows? What do I know? But I do know. It is going to act as resistance. And look at the confluence here of the 100 and the 200. Let's see, Dan, did that help? Did that help with the stats on the 10-200 crossover? Oh, you know what? This was simple. I assume you were looking for the simple. Oh yeah, SMA. Yep. So the chart that I just looked at was EMA. Let's go to something that has all right, let me put a 200-day moving average on there real quick and see. Is this it? No. No. There we go. Oh. Wrong stock. All right, here we go. This is what Dan's looking for. He's looking for the 10 crossing over the 200. It's not there yet, but as we just noticed on here, that does backtest pretty dang well. Glenn says, Greg, look at ZTS for dog medicine. Oh, is that a pharmacy? Is that a pharmacy for dog meds, for prescriptions? Or is this a stock? Sorry, I'm not familiar with it. Just to confirm, Glenn, are we looking at ZTS, the chart? Frank says, Blue Buffalo was invented in the town next door in Connecticut. Oh, cool. Yeah, I know Blue Buffalo. I looked at your Chew and came back to let you know. Chew may get a chance, 57 area, then it will fail. Explanation mark. It will make a new low all the way to $16 target. You heard it here. 40 is middle. Okay. All right. That's what GM says. That's what GM says. May get a chance. Chewy may get a chance, 57 area, then it will fail. Well, let's look at this on a little longer. Oh, this doesn't have a lot of data. Look at this nice sideways man, look at this. Look at this sideways motion on the week. Look at the V2. Bump. All right. Well, if it goes to 57 GM and then it fails, I want you to get on here and let us know that you were right, right? I think it might go to 16. Well, I'm not in it for that long. I'm in it. If it closes under, I'm out of here. And if it goes up, I'm scaling. Absolutely, nor have I disappeared. I know you haven't. I know you've been dealing with some things. GMCs, be careful on Chew. Pump and dump. Okay, night all again. See you later, GM. Dan says, my 401k limits us to 2 buys per month. So 1050 or 200 cross could exceed my allowed trades. I hope 1020 will be an option for me. Oh, excellent. Well, it has. I mean, it has good results. Of course, we don't know if it's going to happen. Let's look at the trades. You know, the nice thing with crossovers, when you're wrong small. Here's a 5%er. If you're right, you can be right big. 24, right? And you'll always notice that you're losing trades, you're in a short amount of time, and the winning trades, you're in a big amount. Look, on the 5% loss, you're in 21 days. But when it was going your way, you're in 332 days. When you had a loss, you were in 32 days. When you had a nice win, you were in 254. See, that's the whole key with these crossovers. Stay in trades when you're positive and the crossover is still in place, and get out quickly when you're wrong. Look at this trade. You were only in it 5 days. Look at this trade. You were in it 660 days, right? Does this tell you something about holding on to your winners and getting out quickly with the losers? Anyway, we'll watch that, Dan. Quad says, Greg, do you know any free backtesting utilities like ETF Replay? I thought it was a free service until I tried it out. My guess is there probably isn't anything great for free, but I thought I'd ask. You know, I know TrendSpider is a good charting program. I know they have backtesting. I'm not 100% sure how much the cost is. If anyone uses TrendSpider, maybe they could chime in and let us know. But yes, ETF Replay is does charge. But other than ETF Replay, I don't know. Maybe somebody has an idea. We can talk about it more tomorrow. Dan says, yes, this looks good for me. Thank you, Greg and Steve. Just preparing. Miko, Greg, I caught up on some of your YouTube interview last night. Enthralling. Oh, good. Was that the interview that I did with Steve and Christopher Uhl, or the interview I did with Dave from Famous Dave's? Glenn says NASDAQ has a 10 SMA is larger than 20. Well, let's take a look. Let's run the NAS on that and see how that back tests. Pretty good. Better than buy and hold. Drawdown is much less. And yes, look, it started the trade on April 16th. It's still in the trade. Oh no, it got out of the trade. Oh no, open trade. It's up 6.39%. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, this is where it crossed. See, the 10 crossed the 200 right here, and it is up. It was up 8% before today. Miko says both. Oh, good. Thank you for that. All right, everybody. Well, listen, I'm going to get out of here, go for a hike, grab something to eat. I'm teaching tonight a new client, so I'm really looking forward to that. Teaching tomorrow night, so I'm looking forward to that with Quad. So have a good rest of your day. Please go out and try to do something nice for somebody today, just a smile or a wave. Give somebody a call. You know, they'd probably be glad to hear from you. You could really kind of make their day. And let's just try to do something nice every day. All right, and so listen, on the way out, just if I could remind you, please, if you could hit the thumbs up button, I would really appreciate that if you found it helpful. If not, then I'm glad you're here anyway. All right, well, that's it. Interesting day. Volatility came into the market. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see if we get some follow through tomorrow. I'm not sure. So just to confirm, Binghe, yep. Miko and myself and Kamal. Kamal sold puts. All right. Okay. Have a good day. Have a good night. Be good. Be safe. And hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow. All right. Take care now. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.